lithium batteries are going to have the highest energy density.
Along the way of 25 years, we met many talented Thailand students and Thailand postdocs.
Thailand, you have two of world's best trained battery scientists engineers.
Tech Originals ในตอนนี้ครับเป็นตอนที่พิเศษมากที่สุดครั้งหนึ่งเพราะว่าเราได้มีโอกาสคุยกับนักวิจัยแถวหน้าของโลกในวงการแบตเตอรี่ที่ไม่ได้มีแค่หนึ่งครับแต่ถึง3คนด้วยกันคือศาสตราจารย์เอ็มสแตนลีย์วิตติงแฮมผู้พัฒนารากฐานของแบตเตอรี่ลิเธียมไอออนจนได้รับรางวัลโนเบลสาขาเคมีในปี 2019 รวมถึงศาสตราจารย์เย็ดมิงเชียงคนนี้คือนักวิจัยด้านวัสดุแบตเตอรี่ชั้นนำเลยครับจากสถาบันเทคโนโลยีแมสซาชูเซตส์หรือว่า MIT ที่เรารู้จักกันและดร.วายเชอรี่เมิงครับเขาเป็นนักวิจัยด้านความปลอดภัยของแบตเตอรี่ที่สำคัญในวงการของโลกเลยครับจากมหาวิทยาลัยชิคาโกและยังเป็นนักวิจัยในห้องวิจัยแห่งชาติอากรในสหรัฐอเมริกาด้วยซึ่งทั้ง3ท่านครับมารวมตัวกันในงานประชุมเทคโนโลยีแบตเตอรี่อาเซียนหรือว่างาน ABTC เมื่อ 27-29 สิงหาคมที่ผ่านมาครับซึ่งถ้าใครได้ดู TNN Tech เราได้นำเสนอข่าวนี้ไปแล้วนะครับก่อนหน้านี้ไปตามดูกันได้ครับและทั้งหมดนี้ทำให้ TNN Tech ครับใช้ความเป็นคนไทยถามมุมมองนักวิจัยระดับโลกทั้ง3คนเลยครับว่าไทยเรามีศักยภาพในการเป็นผู้นำด้านแบตเตอรี่กับเขาบ้างหรือเปล่า
Well, if you want to get into making batteries, you need to choose, I would say, a niche market. Don't make them for electric vehicles because it's not just China. You've got South Korea, 3 or 4 companies, Panasonic in Japan. And it's a cutthroat business, so you'll never make any money. So I think that CATL, BYD are clearly making a lot of money. There's not anybody else who's making money. So how does somebody in Thailand make money unless the government says we're banning all imports of batteries? And I don't think that's likely to happen.
Well, so you also said that the ASEAN countries should go to the niche market on the batteries. And what kind of niche market that you see the potential?
I'm saying everything that you wear.
Everything.
Your computers, your phones, your watches, which are much more valuable market. And I think certainly companies like Apple and Samsung, they want 2 or 3 different suppliers.
Another question, as a researcher, what kind of knowledge that any country should develop or should invest on?
Well, I think you've got some good researchers in this country. So I think they can do the research. It's the next step. How do you get the research into a product? Have you got that, what we call bridging technology? That's what America lacks as well. So it's not just Thailand. I think a lot of us lack that. How do we convert ideas into a product?
Do Thailand and ASEAN countries have the potential to be the world leading or at least in the region leading battery development in your opinion, and how to be at it?
Very, very thoughtful question. Yes, I think the answer is absolutely yes. Okay, I'm a Singaporean. I spent the last 25 years in the US. I mean, of course, we went to US because it's where the center of innovation, a lot of incentives for people to do creative technology development, and then we can actually start companies. We can, build our scientific groups that we can pursue these ideas. What I mean is in the US, there were lots of talented students went to US to pursue their higher degree, right? So the question you ask me how we can establish the brain power in the ASEAN place, the answer is very simple. Number 1 is people, okay? So if these people all decide, I'm going to come back and build, that's number 1 ingredient. But number 2, very important, is really, at least in the past, the United States government have really incentivized super intelligent people all come to this country to build their dream, right? I think this is one of the key, and that actually requires the government to spend significant resources to support science, innovation, and the technology development. Okay, so that's the other absolutely necessary but not sufficient conditions. Okay, so the third one, I would say timing is good now. As you know, many Western countries are moving towards more protectionism instead of international, right? But I think you also know ASEAN countries, we are all so small. We cannot we cannot prosper if we have the isolation. So we have to work together. We have to have collaborations. We have to support each other. So I think timing wise, right now is a good time if ASEAN really decide try to build our own core competence in terms of manufacturing, recycling, battery ecosystem.
So let's begin with research. Certainly in research. Research is very democratic. Here in Thailand, you have two of the world's best trained battery scientists engineers, Dr. Pimpa Lundongun, Dr. Nonglak Mitang. And I know that because they trained at MIT with me. Okay. So certainly the directions of research that will be the most fruitful, those are I think well known to the leading researchers here in ASEAN. So research benefits from collaboration across international borders, but it's a very flat earth when it comes to the research. When it comes to commercialization, what I've seen here in Thailand, if you just take the electric vehicles, is that the number of electric vehicle models that are on the road already here, as well as the selling prices, and many more brands than I typically see Boston, especially the number of brands. And so the implementation of sustainable, clean energy technology here is obviously well on its way. So you have the research, you have the adoption, and the grid as well.